So the other day we were musing about what happens if this police officer walks from his third-degree murder charges. Well, now it was upgraded. The next day it was upgraded, changed to second-degree murder. And I don't even know what all this stuff means. So Amy Swearer is here. She's the legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation. Amy, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Wonderful. So let's talk third degree. So what are the, and we'll do this quickly because it's not a thing anymore, but what did we need to know about this third degree murder charge?
So the biggest thing you needed to know about third degree is that it's the only murder charge for which he could not actually be convicted. And here's what I mean by that. So a lot of people read what third degree murder was and thought, oh, well, that sounds like it fits. But third degree murder, as defined by the state Supreme Court, only applies to things like driving under the influence and killing another motorist, where you have a general disregard for life generally. But if there's a specific disregard for a specific life, which is what you would think happened here, you know, the officer directed all of his actions toward a specific person, that can't be third degree murder in Minnesota. So from the very beginning, a lot of people who looked into this were questioning, why are we charging this man with something that legally speaking, he can't be convicted of? So it's actually a good thing that that's no longer the charge that we're looking at.
Very good. Okay, very good. Again, it's interesting why they would even do that in the first place then. Why would they even do third degree? But wasn't there something there? I wish I had the text in front of me. I apologize. There was something about like wanton disregard. Right. For like there was like a deviance factor in there too, which, as you said, it seemed like it fit because he was so like callous and cold in it all, but you say it doesn't.
Right. So it's often considered, like depraved heart murder.
Depraved.
And
that's
I think a lot of people looked at that and said, oh, well, his actions were depraved. But when you start getting into the legal technicalities and where the court has actually thrown this out, it looked very, very clear that this was never going to survive in court. So a lot of us were actually glad to see that one go by the wayside.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so second degree murder. What is that in Minnesota?
So second degree murder, there's two types of second degree murder, and I think this is where a lot of people were getting confused. So the first part of second degree murder can be intentional. And a lot of people looked at that and said, how do we prove intent here? But the good thing is there's a second version, and it's essentially called unintentional second degree murder, also known as felony murder. So the legal theory goes something like this. If you're committing a felony and someone dies during that felony, regardless of whether or not you intended for that person to die, that's felony murder. That's unintentional second degree murder. And so the argument is essentially that because Officer Chauvin used force that wasn't authorized under the law, he's actually just committing felony assault like the rest of us would be if we pinned a man to the ground to the point that he couldn't breathe. And because, of course, we know George Floyd died, at least in large part, as a result of these actions, that would be unintentional second degree murder.
Slater Crusaders, thanks for watching the first on YouTube. If you want more, like, subscribe. We got plenty.